but it's okay. I still move my body and that's what matters. And I might even move my body a little bit more because it's so nice and sunny out today. Well, not exactly sunny, but it's blue skies at least. And I was planning to get straight into baking my bread while it was daylight, but I also feel like I don't want to miss out on it because I love many things about this house, but it does not get a lot of daylight, so I feel like I should go out and enjoy it for a little bit. So I might go on a little walk. I just put on my new snail serum, which I got for Christmas and I've heard so much about, and I felt so like iffy about it in the beginning because snails, but it does bring a lot of moisture, which is good. And then I've got this cream, which is a simple hydrating cream. I did use the La Roche-Posay one before. Do I still have it? I've been using this recently, but it ran out and I couldn't find this one in any shops when I went to London, so because I didn't have that much time, so I got this one instead, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too different. I want one that is not pork logan or anything. This does have a slight scent though, which I'm not entirely sure about because I'm really trying to keep my skincare as limited as possible at the moment, to not mess up my skin anymore, because I'm struggling a lot with hormonal acne, which is not fun. So at the moment my skincare routine consists of very simple ingredients and also retinol every other night. I've built up slowly and now I use it quite a lot, and I feel like that's really the only thing that's been actually helping my skin. I've been using this, which is a mild retinol, which has been really good, and I'm just kind of trying to see if less is gonna work better, and for now I think it is. Oh god, I forgot to shade my sunscreen. And yeah, I tried another sunscreen as well for a period, from CeraVe, which I thought was going to be like more gentle because this does sting slightly, but I found that the CeraVe one actually just clogged my pores and gave me like lots of little tiny bumps. So I just went back to my trusty La Roche-Posay one, which I know is working for me, and also this has 50 plus, the other one had 30, so this is just better for protecting my skin. So yeah, not very exciting skincare, but it's working for the moment, which is good. Actually, last step is this eye cream that I got from my stepsister when she went to Thailand this Christmas, which I've just been using, and it feels really nice and soothing because I do definitely have some under eye dark, like some dark circles, and this just feels really cooling and nice, which I'm loving. I wasn't going to put on any makeup, but it's just something about the redness of my spots and my scars that just affects me so much, which is really annoying because I used to just not wear any makeup at all, and I was even one of those little brats in school that would like judge other girls for wearing lots of makeup, and I was a little shit kid because I totally understand it now. The redness makes me so insecure, even when I'm not necessarily going to see anyone. Obviously I'm putting this on YouTube so people are going to see it, but I don't know, it's just, I totally understand the urge to just kind of have a clean surface. Don't know if that makes any sense, but wanting to make my face even again, like the little red spots, they bother me more than they should. Like it's really hard to just ignore them. So I don't even want to have makeup on today, which is why I'm putting on a light one. I'm just putting my Glossier skin tint on. But I just felt like, this like feeling that I just can't avoid putting something on, which is a real pain because I know my skin should probably breathe, but it's a really annoying journey to be on, of like feeling this urge to do my makeup, to go out and be fully dressed, because I just don't believe that that's the case. I feel like you should be able to go to work, you should be able to do whatever you want to do in your life without feeling like you're not professional enough or not all ready or anything like that, because men literally show up to work without showering sometimes, and that's okay, you know, whereas women have so many more criteria for how we need to be, which annoys me endlessly, which is why when I started my job 3 years ago, I didn't wear makeup most of the time. I would literally just come to work with a fresh face and I would just be okay with that. But now it's just gotten to that point where I feel like I have to put something on, and it's really annoying. I don't want that to be the case, but I'm also just allowing myself to feel bad about my skin, even though I know other people have it worse. And I know I should probably get to a point of self-love and loving myself despite like my imperfections, but yeah, at the moment I'm not able to, and that's okay. I'll get to that point eventually, or hopefully I'll be able to find a good dermatologist and I can sort my skin out. That would be the ideal outcome. If you know of any good dermatologists, do let me know, because I'm actively searching for one, and the ones that I've seen recommended online, I saw one in London. She took £450 for a consultation, and I just don't have that kind of money. I'm sure she's worth it. I'm sure she's, you know, I'm sure she's charging that much because of her experience, but that money doesn't exist in my account to be spent on skin. Even now, with something on, I feel like I still want it to be completely gone. I just want it to be away. I don't want to see any red spots or whatsoever. But I just have to deal with it. At least if I just do a little bit of makeup, I'll feel a little bit better, and that's something. I'm doing this, but I'm not putting mascara on. That is too much for a Sunday. That's it. Off on a silly little walk for my silly little mental health, because even in just the span of the past half hour where I haven't been vlogging, my mood has just dropped and I feel really low for some reason. And I know the reason is that I'm on my period, but it's still so annoying. It just comes out of the blue and you're suddenly like, why am I so upset at nothing? So that's a shame, but I'm gonna get back into the good mood. Ooh, just saw some beautiful birds fly across the sky. There you go. Everything will be okay. Do you think you can make it in my keep cup mug? I wanted a little hot drink for my walk, but I just couldn't be bothered to make one at home, so I thought I would support my local coffee shop and get one there. But unfortunately, they're not the best at coffee. I know I shouldn't speak because I'm not an expert myself, but when you buy a coffee out, you want it to be better than the one you can make at home, and that's not the case with this place. So I thought I'd try something different, and I went for a matcha latte, and in hindsight, that was probably a worse decision because the poor girls there did not know how to make one, and there's just a lot of powder at the end, and every time I take a sip, it's just powder with a little bit of milk in it. So that was a £3.50 disappointment. The chai latte may not taste that very good, but this view makes up for it. Again while I'm filming, please.
It's so heavy. Okay.
Now I'm ready.
Okay, yeah. You're supposed to say action, but don't worry.
This is literally giving me childhood memories of like when you unbox little things. What am I thinking of right now? Like, this literally gave me like a deja vu of like unboxing like toys or something.
Was it like little like action figures that you put
Maybe
together?
like little bits.
Yeah, that
like
you
Polly Pocket. And you had, oh yeah, it's like when you had to get the little toys out of the Polly Pocket like plastic wrapper.
Yeah, I mean I didn't have any of those.
Sad.
I know. I wanted them, but my parents wouldn't buy me them. They're a favourite one.
Stop lying.
No, I just didn't have them. I got rock tumblers.
This is for the bread. This is what we need. This is what this is all for.
Oh god, it looks nice.
It looks so good.
Let me turn it around.
It's so matching with the cotton machine.
Look at that.
Oh wow. That is stunning.
It is stunning. Good choice on the colour. I would have had a crown one.
unbox the bread machine, as I call it, the Kanban machine, and it looks so good. I'm so excited about it. I love that we chose this like steel, obviously it's plastic and you can see me, hello, but this like steel colour, silver colour, because they come in loads of different colours and they have, most of them have glass bowls, but I really wanted to match the coffee machine, and I'm so glad we did because they look amazing together. Even though they probably won't be placed together in the same room very often, I did think it's just nice to have matching appliances, you know? So yeah, it looks so good. We got obviously the 3 attachments that come with, but I think for now I'm just going to use the bread one, which I've already put in just to check that it actually works, which was good, it did. But eventually we'll start doing some cakes and some other bits, but one thing at a time. I don't want to overload myself with hobbies, you know. Also got a little spatula, which looks like it blends completely with the table, but if you wondered what that was, it's a spatula that came with. And I also got all of the bread things, and I'm trying to do, wait, let me turn the camera around. So this whole bread idea started because my mum makes the most amazing bread, and I've been trying to replicate it, but you have to do kneading for bread, but my mum makes bread that is very like sloppy, and that sounds so gross, but it makes it very moist, another horrible word, but it makes it like a very moist bread. But if you make a moist batter, you obviously, or dough, I guess it's called a dough, you can't actually knead it, so it's impossible to make without a bread machine. So I've made other types of bread. I'm not a complete newbie, even though I definitely seem like it, but I made other types of bread which takes kneading. Like I made sourdough bread. I actually made a really good one during lockdowns, which I'm very proud of myself for, but I don't know how to replicate that. Anyway, and other like breads that you basically make the day before, so you put all the batter in and you let it rise overnight and then you pour it in, which is like a no knead dough. I keep calling it batter, but anyway, you know what I mean. But anyway, it's just not the same, it's just not what I want. So when Alex was home in Norway with me before Christmas, he tried my mum's bread and he was like, what will it take for you to make this type of bread? So that's why we bought this, because this is what it will take. I think I told you this story before, so sorry for repeating myself, but we basically just decided as a gift to ourselves, we would buy a Kenwood machine. Luckily it was on offer, so we didn't have to pay the full price. And now here we are. And I've tried to buy the flour that will kind of replicate my mum's bread as much as possible, because obviously she gets special flour from Norway. But that's why I've kind of got a bit crazy with all these like flour types. But I think we just have to try out a few different things. So she uses like a mix of flour that is already pre-mixed with all that you need for a bread, and then she just uses a few scoops of normal flour in addition to that. So I thought this was kind of the closest I could find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 kilo of this, and then I'm going to do half a kilo of this flour, so 2 kilos, sorry, 2 kilos of the bread flour country grain, and then I'm going to do half a kilo of the strong multigrain flour, and then I'm going to do a few spoonfuls of regular plain flour. Obviously I've got the yeast, and I also have a humongous bag of oats, because another thing my mum does is she puts oats, like 2-3 deciliter of oats, in warm water, and then that swells up, and that's kind of what makes the bread really like moist and nice. So I'm going to try all of that. She doesn't have any specific measurements. I'm just going to have to try to follow her recipe, which is not really a recipe, it's just whatever she does, as much as I can, and we'll just have to see. So I'm going to get going with trying to make my first bread, and pray for me that it turns out at least slightly similar to my mum's, because that's what I'm craving so much. And I've already bought the spread I'm going to put on top of the bread tomorrow morning, so I'm praying that this works out, because I really don't want to go out and buy a white loaf of English bread. Should have put liquids in first, but it's my first time, so it's okay. I'm going to put this in now. It's already swollen, so there are liquids in here, but I think I need to add some more. My mum is not very precise in her recipe, so there's clearly a lot of dry stuff, so I definitely need to add something wet. So I've got lukewarm water and oil and My mum might watch this and just think, what the hell is she doing? Like, what is going on here? We're trying new things. I'm going to start with that and then see what happens in the bread machine. Now the dough is too wet, but I don't actually know how wet it's meant to be, and my mum is not replying when I'm calling her. So we're just gonna have to add some more flour and see. I'm really just trying it out. It's okay if it fails, I'm telling myself. As I know that I would be deeply disappointed if it did fail, but it's okay if it fails. It's the first try. So I've let the machine do its thing for a while. And I genuinely have no idea how it's meant to look. I thought I was much more confident at the start of this. I was like, I'll figure it out. I've made the bread before. I know what my mum's breads look like. And I also have seen her make the bread. So I was like, I know. But then now I'm starting doubting myself. And I'm like, is it wet enough? Is it too wet? What is going on? How long am I meant to do the camera thing? And I also don't want to do it too long, because can that do something with the yeast? Like, I don't even know. But now it's looking like, at least it smells good. And now it looks like this. So it's like a little bit wet, a little bit firm. It's looking all gooey. So I think I'm just gonna try to leave it like this, let it rise for an hour, and just pray that it turns out okay. I'm sorry if you know how to make bread and you're looking at this right now and you're like, that is not the way. We'll see in 1 hour when it's risen, what it looks like then. So, see you in an hour. It's about an hour later and we just had a little dinner break, and now I'm so full, but the bread is definitely risen loads, to the point where I think it's even falling apart, so I probably should have done this a little bit quicker, but I'm just gonna butter up these, I can't remember the name for them, bread tins. I have one shit one from IKEA that I bought ages ago, and then one new one that I had in my little moving in haul, if you remember. So that's a good way to actually see which one's going to work best, but I obviously think it's going to be the new one. Just going to butter these up. Alex's mum, who is a terrific baker, told me this trick of putting a little bit of flour inside the tin and like shaking it all about, so there's like a thin layer of flour on the inside of the tin before you put the bread in, or whatever you're baking. She told me this when I was making a banana bread during lockdown. Distant memories. So I'm gonna go and do that over the sink because I do not want it to spill on the table. So when you've put the flour in, it should look something like this. It's like all flour sticking on the inside. I probably should have done a little bit more because there are definitely some more patches, but I'm lazy. And now I think I'm gonna do something risky, because my mum normally just takes this whole thing and pours it into the tin, and she just knows how to make it even. And she said that I should probably be like, she told me that I should probably cut them up in pieces, do a little shaping, and then put them in the tin. But like I said, I'm lazy. So I'm gonna try her way. If it's a total disaster, we'll deal with that then. Alrighty. I can already tell this is going to be such a bad idea. I want this to be like a little wholesome video, but instead I'm just chaotic. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, interesting. That's an interesting look. Definitely. Another thing I just realised is my tins are different sizes, so they're not going to cook the same speed, at the same speed. Oh my god. I don't know if you can see, but it's going in. Gonna put a little bit more there. This is when I should have had my spatula. Oh well. The old finger will do. Oh god, it smells like yeast. Bit worried about that. But that's empty. These are filled. So I call that a win. Anyway, now I'm gonna let these rest for like 10 to 15 minutes while I wait for the oven to be done preheating. And then I'll whack them in, wait an hour, and show you the result. At least they look good now, even if they might not look good in an hour. Okay, time to take them out of the oven. So, it's the moment of truth. Got one of these out. Oh gosh. They are definitely done. Oh no. Whoopsie. I think I left them in a little bit too long. Let's take them out of the tin pretty immediately. Oh my god. That one is stuck. Oh look, this is a much better tin. I know it would be. Love this tin. Need to get another one. For the horrible IKEA tin. It's not budging even a little bit. Okay, we need a knife. Oh gosh, it's so stuck. Bread and tin, anyone? Oh, fucking hell. Oh, it's hot. I can't believe how stuck this bread is. Oh, it's like it's glued in there. Okay, we'll just have one bread then. We'll just have this one. My pride and joy. Such a beautiful bread. Just slightly overcooked. The other one, let's talk about it. We only need one bread. I have to get out somehow. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, I can get all the way around with a knife. Surely it should just come out. God. The bread is free. Oh Christ. So we're not using that bread tin again. Okay, I definitely overcooked them slightly because they were done. The timer went off, but I was in the middle of doing the dishes and they looked fine, so I thought I'll leave them in until I finish, but that was probably a few minutes too much and I probably didn't realise just how dark brown they were, so that's lesson learned. Don't keep them in any longer than they should be. Oh, that's hot. Yeah, so now we just let them rest for a bit and then we can taste them and see if they are actually good. I'm in bed. I've got another slice of toast and some milk because that is the ultimate combo, and my Kindle, and I'm gonna read for a little bit, enjoy this, and then try to fall asleep before it's way too late because it's another Monday tomorrow. But yeah, just wanted to give a final update that I'm very happy with myself and the bread, even though it's a little bit undercooked, weirdly enough, because I kind of overcooked it at the same time, but it was a bit undercooked in the middle, so not in a bad way, I can still eat it, but yeah, I think next time I'm going to put it on the lowest shelf and on lower degree. But still, very happy with myself. I'm proud that I did it, and next time it'll be even quicker and even easier. So yeah, I think it'll be good. Anyway, thank you so much for following me along on this weekend. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you found it a little bit cozy, even though it was a little bit chaotic, but I hope you had fun, because I did. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.